Hey there, it's Ashley here with Createful Art. New to this channel is Watercolor Wednesdays, in which we are going to work in watercolor and learn how to paint with it. If that sounds great to you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell next to it so you're notified when I make new videos. Today I'm going to show you guys how to paint an American flag because we are going to celebrate Independence Day soon, and so let's get started. The first thing that I'm going to do is tape down my watercolor paper so that it'll stay in place and that it'll leave this wonderful frame right through here. So when I do that, I just make sure that I'm using a painter's tape so it doesn't pull off any of the fibers on the paper, and I just make sure that I make a straight, accurate line, otherwise you'll have like this crooked look going on. And I also try to make sure that I've done about the same around each as far as the size that I go over the paper. So go ahead and do that. This is the color scheme I'm using for the month, and as you can see, these are acrylics. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up my watercolors to match these acrylics, and I will put the colors that I'm using in the description below. You do not have to follow my color scheme at all. It is entirely up to you what colors you want to use. So go ahead and mix up your colors. Okay, so now we're going to get the idea of what the flag shape is. So you're going to start in this corner right here, and you're just going to make a wave, right? And we're not doing like a really flat looking flag because it's going to be much easier to do it this way. Okay, and we're going to reach over to like right here. Okay, so past the middle point. So you can have small little waves like this, or you can have big waves, but whatever you do, have waves, okay? And then you take that and you go towards this area, okay? Not to this point, but out further, but not into your middle. So I'm just gonna take this, and not a straight line either. Okay, so I'm just gonna go like that. Whatever it turns out to be, you can keep, okay? And now can you see that a little bit better? From right here to a point, and then a curved line to here, okay? Alright, within this portion, you're gonna place your star stickers down. And you can have big or little stars, but the great thing about this is it can be very random. It doesn't have to be because of the shape of this. We're just getting a diagonal. So you can place your stickers down however you want. You also don't need all 50 stars. I just like to keep my stars away from the edge here. So what the stars are doing is they're protecting the white of the paper. So we're actually going to peel off these stars after we're done with watercoloring. Okay, so I just randomly put about 17 stars on here. And once you've done this, you're ready for the next step. So for this step, I'm just taking my flat brush, putting some water on it. Okay, and I'm going to add it over this area. So the water's a little dingy, so I can show you what it looks like. Then you just follow that line down here, follow it to the corner. Okay, and what the water is going to do is it's going to make your color spread. So now I'm going to add in my light color first, this light blue right here. Okay, so I just make sure I have enough water to make it spreadable like that, and I'm just going to add it on here. Okay, and as you can see, it's going to spread, and that's what we want. We don't want to see the brush marks. Okay, then we're going to go up to the next color, and we want this to blend in with the other color as well. And we're going to focus it on this area right here, because of the shadow of this. Okay, and then we're going to take that, so it's kind of like a triangle. We're going to take that triangle and we're going to find where one of our grooves is over here, where it comes out. Okay, and we're going to go along that and go up to that triangle. Okay, and we'll do the same thing over here where it grooves. We're going to go up to that triangle. Okay, So I'm finding, and yours will be different because you have different grooves going to that triangle. Okay, and this is going to appear like this is folded and it's not flat. So here's a groove right here. It's gonna go up to this triangle. Might need to get a little more on my brush. Go to that groove, okay? So that's the shadow part. We'll have a little bit of shadow right through here. Okay, and as you can see where it starts to dry, the color doesn't really move around. So you can add more water to your brush and move that color around. You can soften things, whatever you feel like, okay? And then when your color's starting to dry, you're gonna see that it's going to get lighter. And so you may want to add some more layers on just to get that darker appearance, but you have to kind of wait until it's dry to do so. Like right through there, I can add a darker color and just make sure that my color is blending in with the others. So one of the things that I'm going to do just very carefully is go along this edge, because you know there'll be stitches and stuff like that. It just gives it kind of a crisper look. So I'm going along this edge. Didn't change my brush because I don't want it to be super precise, but just a little bit of a crisper edge. Okay, see how that works? And now I'll go ahead and let this dry. Okay, so now I'm going to just grab that same flat brush, and this is a super easy step to do the stripes because they don't have to be perfect. So I just added enough water to my brush that it's going to hold this pigment right here. Okay, the pigment means color. So just going to hold the color, and then I'm very, very carefully going to go and make make a triangle right here and go up against this spot and then come out. And I have my camera right here, so it's a little more difficult for me. So I'm just gonna kind of, it's gonna be a little hard to get up against this edge. Okay, and then I'm just pulling up to make this square against here. Okay, just like that. All right, I add this right here. Look at how big that white stripe is. That's ridiculous. Okay, right here I'm just gonna kind of see how I made a little wavy by twisting. Okay, so the distance between the red and the white needs to be similar. So I need to have a thicker line. So I'm gonna come in here and thicken this one up and a little bit on this one. Oh, now my other line's thinner, but you know what I mean, okay? So just kind of measure it with your eyes a little bit, okay? And then we're gonna have a big line through here, okay? So kind of think of the distance you have right here between those, okay? And give it the same distance right here. And what you want to do is you want to look at your round, you know, all these little rolls that you made here, and you want to kind of follow it. So I'm going to go up because that's angled up right there. And I'm going to come down, kind of follow that line, and then kind of curve as I go. And I ran out of pigment or color on my brush, so I'm going to come back, grab it, and make it a little bit thicker of a line. And wherever you don't have any water, it's not going to go into that area because you don't have water there to move it to that area. So even though this isn't like quite a precise line right here, it's not going to move into the white. Okay. And then I'm going to do one more because, I mean, there's this big blank space here, okay? So I'm just going to kind of come in here with some shakiness because this one doesn't have to fall exactly that one because the flag's moving. Okay, gonna make it a little thicker. Gonna make this one a little bit thicker right there. And this is just really fun to do. And now to get some depth into your painting, into those grooves, you're gonna have to take a little bit of your blue, which is gonna make some purple, but just a little bit of it. So you want it to be mostly red. See how it's mostly red there? It's just a darker version. Dip it into your paintbrush, okay, or into your water. And you're just gonna come in here where the grooves are. You're gonna add that, and it's gonna spread because you still have water on your brush. Okay. Come here along this line. Come here along this line. So you want to take it all the way down to the line. So this is going to make it look like it has realistic movement to it. Okay, so I'm going to take this brush, I'm taking off all the pigment, it's a dry brush now, and now I'm just going to move that down a little bit so it lessens it. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to let this dry. Okay, so for this step we're going to put some dimension into the white. See how it just looks flat and blah? So I'm going to grab the gray that I have here. Okay, water it down a little bit. And I'm just going to add it into the areas where this would be sinking in. So the dark areas here, it makes sense to add this in here and make it darker. Okay, so kind of follow along those lines. Okay, and because we haven't put any water down on this, we have to kind of spread it out and soften the areas around it. And I like to do that by just taking a tiny little paper towel and dabbing up around the edge like that so that it's not so harsh and contrasted. Okay, so that's how I do that. If you can't see that, let me go ahead and change this to a darker. Okay, so now you can see that really well. Okay, sometimes on my camera I just have to change things around because the lighting changes to our settings here. I want you to see the bright of the white, yet I want you to be able to see the contrasted colors I'm making too. So we're taking away that purity of the white here, giving it some dimension. Right, and now we're going to get playful. I'm going to cover most of my blue here because I'm going to get a little bit playful here. You can stop right here if this is how you want it to look. You don't have to get playful like me. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some splattering. Okay, so I'm grabbing my red. So it's going to be very random. It's going to go where it wants to go. And you can't really control it that much. That's what makes it playful. Then I'm going to take my blue here, my light blue gray. Oh, I have to make sure I have color off of my brush here. And I'm going to do the same, and it's going to land on my red too. Okay? So there's going to be a nice mix of the red and the gray splatters. What's really fun about this is that everyone's is gonna look different, and it looks like fireworks, you know, it looks so fun and playful. So for this step, everything should be dry. There's a little bit that's not dry on mine, but I'm not going there. And you want to peel off the stickers. Now you don't have to. If you want to keep it like this, you don't have to. But I'm going to show you what's going to happen when you peel them off. And you have to kind of get in here with your fingernail. Okay, and then you pull them off like that. And you have this white part where the sticker is. Okay? I'm trying to decide if I want to peel off my stickers or not. They're so pretty. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go grab my gold here and put it into this star spot. Okay, and then it's gonna be shimmery. So I'm gonna grab some of that yellow that I have on here, and you could just use your yellow. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove all these stickers. Okay, so this is what it looks like with all the stickers taken out. Now I'm gonna go in and be creative and add like the elements that I want with the gold and the yellow. And when you're done, go ahead and sign your work. I'm gonna sign it right here in this corner. Go ahead and take off your tape. I like to take it off very slowly, going in this direction, going like this. Okay. And it'll be perfect for a frame. And then you're done. Thank you so much for painting with me. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and the bell next to it so you get notified when I make new videos. I really appreciate a thumbs up and comments that you have below. You can ask me any questions that you want. There are also weekly art lessons that I give. If you click right here, you can become a member to get those, and you can watch more of my watercolor tutorials right over here. I will see you very soon. Bye!